Hello art lovers, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Peachecreations. I'm very excited. I'm going to pretty much be doing my very first voiceover today. Hopefully it goes well. Don't know. But whatever it turns out to be, oh well. So in today's video, I'll be going over like how the painting kind of turned out wrong, but also talking about my personal life at the same time, and pretty much how I got into doing art. Ever since I was a child, I pretty much spent most of my time doodling, either on little pieces of like lined sheets of paper or on the desk. My elementary school classroom, even though I would get in trouble for like doodling on the desk. So in my classrooms, I would draw like pretty much like stick figures or airplanes shooting at those stick figures, or they fighting with swords, or all kinds of things like that. I don't know why I thought it was cool, but I don't know, things like that just caught my interest. But it wasn't until high school that I decided to dabble into like painting, like watercolor painting or acrylic painting of those sorts. I never wanted to try oil paints. I don't know why they like terrify me, but they do. So before I entered high school, I was drawing mainly with like graphite pencils and colored pencils. And with those drawings, I would do like flowers or animals. I never really wanted to attempt to draw people. Anytime I have tried to draw people back in those times, the proportions were way off. The head was too big, the nose and everything wasn't right. Like, I would do pretty decent with that with ink pens. I used to pretty much draw like portraits of people in a way in elementary school in my classroom. It was like, I believe that was like 3rd grade. I was drawing people with ink pens, and I mean, in my head they looked pretty good. So they weren't realistic, but they were kind of like characters of people, since the proportions were kind of like way off. Like, it would look like them in a way, but not really at the same time. So in high school, I used those drawings that I've done, like the charcoal and color pencils. I put in a little binder. I used that as like my audition to get into like, that was pretty much my dream high school. But yeah, I wanted to be an art major, since I felt like that was the only thing I was good at anyway. So, but that was the thing I enjoyed doing the most. Once I've done the audition, I got into the school. Things are pretty good. I learned a little bit of jewelry makings, working with watercolor paints, acrylic paints. But I really was mainly interested in doing like acrylic painting. I don't know what it was about it. Maybe it was like the bright, vivid colors and how you can get really detailed with certain things. It was something you pretty much couldn't do with watercolor paints. I mean, I still love watercolor painting. Like, I'm getting better at it now. I took a course on watercolor painting, got a little better with it. But even beforehand, I was still doing pretty good. I just learned like new techniques and how to like incorporate more colors into a painting to make everything like fit together, instead of trying to just make it one solid color. But pretty much everything I've learned in high school and college, I incorporate into like my artwork now. So that's pretty cool. So when I started on this painting, I don't know, like I started with one solid color. I wasn't sure how to tackle painting fur exactly. I just knew what color I kind of wanted it to be. So I put down like a base color to get a good idea or a good feel on like what I thought it should be. But I kind of end up changing the color to like a darker brown, so I could fit that same base color, the light one, on top of it kind of. I was gonna like use a fan brush to see about like working in the fur. But throughout the whole painting, I decided to use like just one small detail brush to paint in every last individual piece of hair. So right here, I feel like things were starting to turn out well with painting the nose and the upper lip part of the kangaroo. Painted the dark color and started going in with the detail brush to do each of the little individual hairs around its mouth to kind of give it some kind of texture. I even went in with the fan brush, so I thought that would like help, but it kind of made things worse. So I decided to just like leave that alone and cover it up later on in the painting. This painting didn't turn out as great. Well, at least the kangaroo part of it didn't turn out as great as I wanted it to be. But it's kind of the first painting with doing hair, and I know I'm gonna improve, like at least I'm gonna improve in the future. It has its own feel to it, like its own unique style, if that makes sense. So at this point, I was kind of getting a better feel of what I wanted the fur to look like, which is cool. Still didn't really like it as much at the time, but it was better than the progress I was making at the beginning of the video. I don't know, maybe in time, I'll get better with like painting fur, or making it stand out a bit better. To me, it just kind of feels flat. I know I'm probably like being a little too hard on myself about this picture. We are our own worst critics, so. So things were going well at this time, but a little bit after I got pretty far, I realized that the camera turned off. This is like one of 2 times that the camera has turned off. the first time. I believe it was like dying. So that was kind of my fault for not putting on a charger before starting this recording. I was kind of like trying to multitask with doing multiple things, like getting everything put together and some other things. So, but from this point, things kind of were looking up. The fur seems to have come out pretty good. It doesn't look like super realistic like I wanted it to. I wanted to look a tad bit more realistic than it actually is in the picture. It looks kind of cartoony, and it kind of doesn't look like a kangaroo. I don't know, it reminds me of another kind of animal. I forgot the name of what it would be, but I mean, I don't know. I thought it still turned out pretty good. So, for like my very first, technically not, but my first recorded fur on an animal painting. So at this point, I was gonna just give the kangaroo a rest and start on like things I know exactly what I want the color to be, like the monarch butterfly and the other butterflies above it. I was gonna do all three as monarch butterflies, but I decided to turn one of them kind of into a blue butterfly. I thought it would, like, I don't know, add an extra feel to the painting. This is the second painting in a row that I've done with butterflies in it. I don't know, it's like my favorite bug. Like, as a child, I was always obsessed, especially with like monarch butterflies. I thought they were just like so beautiful and rambunctious creatures. Like, just, they were free creatures to me. I don't know, that's what I admired about them so much. But I didn't know like what exactly I wanted the background to look like. Like, it was either I was gonna paint a nature background, but then I felt like the butterflies and the kangaroo would have got lost in the background, since it probably would have been too much going on. So I decided to pretty much paint kind of like a galaxy type background, which I thought was pretty cool. Well, if you have any more questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of this time lapse. Well, thank you for watching, and I will see you all back here again next video.